WWE Hell in a Cell took place tonight from Sacramento, California, and you started off on the pre-show, and they have the Hell in a Cell up, and it's the red design, the same one they did last year. I still prefer the original silver design. It looks way better. It looks way more grittier too. I think the red design looks very cartoony. It just doesn't look nearly as intimidating. I like the old design a lot more, but you got the red one there. You have your pre-show host, kind of boring, no one really cares. You have Charlie Caruso, though, who's on the panel. She does really well. They preview some of the matches. They go backstage. They have Kayla Braxton interviewing Charlotte Flair, who she talks about her match at Bayley. Then we go to the first opening match of the kickoff show, and that's Lacey Evans against Natalya. Who the hell cares here? Natalya wins. After the match, Natalya nails Lacey Evans with a woman's right. After that, and that would set up a last man standing match that they're going to do on Raw tomorrow night. No one cares about that. So then he set up another angle. He had Sarah Screeber interviewing Mustafa Ali, and Randy Orton comes out, and they have a confrontation that leads up to a match. So they have Orton and Ali. So this whole thing's been a disaster. You have Kayla Braxton interviewing Erick Rowan about the match. No one really cares much. Then, of course, they finally end up previewing the Shield. I was going to say the Shield. I think in the Fiend, but I thought the Shield because it's Rollins. But Seth Rollins against the Fiend in the main event. So eventually the show begins. Hell in a Cell starts. And we start a match inside Hell in a Cell. You have Becky Lynch defending her Raw Women's Championship against Sasha Banks. And this was a fantastic match. Not even a doubt in my mind, this was the best match on the show. This was one of the best WWE matches all year on pay-per-view. This was fantastic. This was probably the best women's match I've seen all year from WWE. I can't think of a better one, really, this year. The best one probably since Becky and Charlotte and that last woman standing. And this gives this a run for its money. I would say, I wouldn't put ahead of Becky and Charlotte, and I wouldn't put ahead of Sasha and Bayley from the first takeover, but this is up there. This was a fantastic match up here. I don't think I'm in the minority here. I thought this was excellent. I was blown away by how good this match was. This was a great matchup. You started off with a brawl outside, and it teased that we're going to go fight on top of this up, but they don't. They go back in the ring. I was kind of disappointed, but you know what? It turned out to be a fantastic match anyway. You had it started off a bit slow, but then they started using weapons. I was thinking to myself, do we need tables, ladders, and chairs? It's a TLC match within a Hell in a Cell match, but they utilized everything to perfection. One thing I liked was they got a chair early, and Sasha does. She has Becky sit down on the chair, and she does the double knee stop from the top rope, and she pinned her, but Becky kicked out. That was cool. Sasha then does a Meteora into a ladder, which was brutal onto the outside. Sasha does great here. She was the star of the match. Becky is great too, but Sasha really shined here, in my opinion. They do some stuff with chairs. Sasha and they set up this chair. It's tough to explain. They have a whole bunch of kendo sticks, and they set up a chair on top of the kendo stick on the corner of the Hell in a Cell. And Becky sets up the chair. She puts Sasha Banks on the chair, and she has her. So Sasha's sitting up well, and then Becky gets on the apron and does a drop kick off the apron into Sasha Banks, into the chair, back into the cell. That was the biggest holy shit moment of the night. Oh my God, it looked like she crushed Sasha. It looked brutal. I don't know how Sasha just is okay after that. Sasha took so much punishment here. She took a vicious Bexploder into the Hell in a Cell. She took another one, which was Becky. She really whacked her hard with the kendo stick, and she hit her hard with chairs. Sasha got some offense too, and Sasha beat up Becky with the kendo stick. Another cool spot was Sasha does the meteor onto Becky through a table, which looked really cool. It gets really fun near the end. Sasha is frustrated. She can't put Becky away. Becky can't put Sasha away. Becky thinks she's going to put Sasha away, but Sasha keeps kicking out. It goes back and forth. It's a damn well match. And finally, Sasha goes nuts. She brings out a whole bunch of chairs. She sets it up. She sets Becky up in the corner. Becky gets a Bexploder from the top rope onto the chairs, crushes Sasha, puts Sasha in this armor, and eventually Sasha Banks taps out. Becky Lynch retains. She is your winner. Some people might not like that. I was thinking to myself, I think Sasha needs to win here. So it makes more sense. Sasha needs this a lot more than Becky does. But here's the situation. I think this was several factors. I don't think they're burying Sasha, and they shouldn't have beaten her immediately. She did have a lot of momentum. It's all gone now. They don't have to start from scratch again with her. I guess she'll go back to crying, but you can't beat Becky. You have 2K20 coming out soon. You can't beat Becky Lynch. You can't beat Rowan. They're both on the cover. And with Becky as champion, you want her doing a whole bunch of interviews as champion. That's why I knew Becky was going to win. And also, with the draft, Sasha Banks has blue hair for a reason. I think she's going to SmackDown. I think that was always the plan. She's wanted to be on SmackDown for a long time. I think it's pretty simple. Sasha's going to SmackDown. Becky's staying on Raw as Raw Women's Champion. It makes no sense to put the belt on Sasha to be drafted to SmackDown. That's why I always thought there's no way Becky could win, even though in storyline sense it makes sense for Sasha to win. There's no way Sasha can win this because it doesn't make any sense. Just like in the future, within the match, yes, Sasha should win, but when you look at all the external factors outside of the match, Becky had to win. That's why Becky won. So we'll see what's next. Maybe they can. I guess they can continue feud. Maybe a bigger show. But that's it for this one for a while. Becky moves on from her new opponent. We'll see who she feuds with on Raw next. I think she's certainly done with Sasha. Sasha's going to SmackDown. Becky stays on Raw as Raw Women's Champion. Next, we go to the second best match of the night, which was a tornado tag team match. You had Erick, Rowan, and Luke Harper against Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. So they immediately announced Tornado Tag. It's like, Tornado Tag, I don't really need to see that. And holy shit, this match was great. I loved it. Near the end, they got a lot of fun. Not as good as the first match, but damn, this was a fun match. A lot of really enjoyable. Crowd really likes it. Started off slow, but then once they started to use the stuff outside, it got really, really entertaining. You had some good. Harper and Rowan are a very good team. They work well together. I know Harper asked for his release earlier this year, but as a team, they work well together. I like them as a team. They're a damn good team. They use some cool double moves. I like how they use each other as weapons. They slam each other. They do Irish whips into each other, into their opponents. Those are kind of cool. Roman and Daniel Bryan eventually team up. Daniel Bryan takes the beating for a lot of it. Roman gets. They use what they do is how the match ends is Harper and Rowan destroy the announce tables. They rip everything off. They rip off the barricade and they crush Roman Reigns with the barricade and send him to the crowd. And they set up Daniel Bryan. Harper has Daniel Bryan for a big powerbomb in the announce table. Daniel Bryan hits a hurricanrana, sends Harper off, and then Rowan gets a spear from Roman Reigns through the announce table, which was the big holy shit spot of the night, of this match actually, not of the night. And what happens is Daniel Bryan and Luke Harper are in the ring, and they go back and forth. Rowan comes back, and Harper's taken out. Rowan gets back in the ring. He's about to put Daniel Bryan away. However, Roman Reigns hits a Superman punch. Daniel Bryan hits a running knee, and then Roman Reigns with the spear. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan are your winners. And instead of doing a handshake, Daniel Bryan refuses to shake Roman Reigns' hand. They hug it out. They do the big Team Hell No hug. And that was the post-match. It was a funny ending, and I liked it. I thought it was a good match, and I think it's better to split them up. Maybe Daniel Bryan goes to SmackDown, Roman goes to Raw. I think that's the WrestleMania match. I would go with that for the SmackDown title. Whatever the title is, I'd go with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. I don't know if they can book it. Maybe they're both on Raw. Actually, it can be on Raw. It's tough to book this stuff, but I would go with that. Yeah, Charlie Caruso interviewing Seth Rollins. I really wanted to see Rollins lose. We didn't get that. Orton and Ali, no one really cared about this. It was a good match, what they did. I just really wasn't into it. Orton gets the win. It was what it was. Next, we go to another random match, and this was significant because it was a title change. You have the Women's Tag Team Championship. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defend their titles against the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. So you start off with Cross and Sane in the match, and Nikki Cross got a lot. It seems like they have a lot more faith in Nikki Cross in the ring than Alexa Bliss, even though Alexa Bliss is a star because of how attractive she is. But they do feature Nikki Cross a lot more in the ring in their matches, if you notice. It was okay. It was not a bad match. Some people didn't like it. It was fine for a while. There were some cool false finishes. It looked like Nikki and Alexa for sure going to retain. Asuka and Kairi clearly played the heel here. They were clearly the heels. They had Kairi hit an insane elbow, but Nikki Cross gets her feet up. Nikki Cross looked like she had Kairi Sane done with the neck breaker, but Asuka breaks it up. Ends with Alexa Bliss being kicked off the apron by Asuka, so Alexa is down. However, the referee's distracted. He's distracted with Kairi Sane and Alexa. Kairi beats up Alexa on the outside. She takes her down. And all of a sudden, Asuka spits the Tajiri Green Mist into the face of Nikki Cross, hits her with the kick. 1, 2, 3, that's it. That's a joke. I mean, I'm glad Asuka finally got a title. I mean, this is her first title. She finally won something on the main roster. Her and Kairi Sane are champions. But the green mist, I don't want to use the race card, but it feels like, why does it always have to be like Asian wrestlers and Japanese wrestlers using the fucking mist? The Tajiri mist. It's so bad. It's so cheesy. It's such a Vince McMahon thing, but she hits it. That's it. She's champion now. I think Alexa and Nikki probably get split up as well. I can see, I think Alexa's going to SmackDown. I think they want her on SmackDown most likely. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but I think Nikki maybe is on Raw. Maybe she's a good opponent for Becky. You never know, but I get the feeling Alexa's probably on SmackDown. But hey, I could be wrong there. But I think they should split them up. They were a nice team, but you can go in different directions. Next match, no one cares about OC, Gallows, Anderson, and Styles against the Viking Raiders and Braun Strowman. This is a joke. This is a DQ finish. After the match, Strowman KOs AJ to set up the whole stuff with Tyson Fury that no one really gives a shit about. I'm glad it's not at WrestleMania. I'm glad it can just be a stupid Saudi Arabia. Do all the celebrity bullshit at Saudi Arabia. Street Profits in the back with Carmella losing her title to Tamina. Tamina randomly pins her. It was just awful. It was just a joke. Then you go to Gable and Corbin. They bring out Tamina, and she gets pinned again. This time, she loses her 24/7 title before the match starts. I don't even remember what it was. Gable and Corbin, whatever. Didn't really care much. It was what it was. Yeah, Gable gets the win. None really, yeah. I guess the bigger story was R-Truth got the 24/7 title back. Up next, the SmackDown Women's Championship co-main event. Bayley defends her title against Charlotte Flair. So Bayley is in Sacramento. I believe this is Northern California. I forget my geography right. So she was the face in the match, even though she's the heel in character. So she was the face of the crowd. Charlotte was getting booed. Charlotte comes out. She's looking for her 10th title reign. They ended up having a good matchup here. They didn't have a great match. Obviously, they couldn't come close to Sasha and Becky. I mean, Sasha and Becky was on a different level than these two. And these two are talented, but they didn't have a match on that level, but it was still a good matchup here. I enjoyed it for the most part. I thought we had some parts where it looked like Bayley was winning. It looked like Charlotte was going to win. Charlotte hit a natural selection. Bayley grabs the ropes. It looked like, okay, maybe Bayley's going to win. It doesn't happen. Charlotte goes for that moonsault. Bayley gets her knees up, so it didn't look this bad this time. Charlotte, she has the momentum. She really won the match cleanly. It wasn't really, Bayley didn't really do too much in the match, to be quite honest. She gets the figure eight. Bayley taps out. Charlotte wins. Bayley cries. You have Bayley crying like a girl, throwing the steps up. My prediction is Charlotte probably goes to... She's a SmackDown champ. Charlotte's on SmackDown for sure. I think you'll see Charlotte SmackDown. I think Bayley goes to Raw. Maybe she feuds with Becky, but I think Bayley's going to Raw for sure. I really got that feeling. Charlotte to SmackDown, Bayley Raw. I can get this all wrong. Draft is this Friday, but I might even make a prediction video. I can't guarantee it, but I could. So Kayla Braxton's interviewing Chad Gable. She's talking to him, and then Corbin kills him, and it was just a joke. So main event, Seth Rollins and The Fiend. This is a piece of shit. Fuck this match. I fucking hated this fucking trash. So Rollins comes out first. He gets some boos, which I'm happy. The Fiend comes out with an awesome entrance. The Fiend has to win. And they do the Kane gimmick in which they have the red lights. Kane used to do that when he first came in. They would have red lights. The whole arena is covered in red. And it's a red cell, which made it look kind of cool, to be honest, there. And the match, however, is a giant turd. It's a fucking shit show. It was fucking trash. I thought they were going to start the match maybe on the cell. They were going to go on top of the cell, do something crazy. The Fiend's going to do something crazy. This match is a piece of shit. It was fucking garbage. I fucking despise it. One of the worst matches this year. It's incredible. The women's match blew the men's match away. And the last time that happened, when Sasha and Charlotte happened, the men's match outshined them 3 years ago. This time, the women's match blew the men's match out of the wire for the Hell in a Cell matches. Sasha and Becky blew these fucking losers out. I mean, this match sucked. Seth Rollins was a shitty babyface. So he's hitting the Fiend with this curb stomp a million times. It's the same finish with Braun Strowman from the last pay-per-view Clash of Champions. The fans are booing the shit out of Seth Rollins. I know, no, we don't like Rollins. We want the Fiend. The Fiend. It looks like the Fiend might win. He's kicking out. All right, the Fiend's going to get the mandible claw and the match is over. Instead, Rollins just grabs chair, smashes him with a chair, smashes him with a ladder into a chair, he put him through a table earlier. He did that too, but then he smashes him with the ladder. Grabs toolbox, smashes him with a toolbox sledgehammer, and the match ends. It's a DQ. I thought it was like a knockout win by Rollins. Rollins gets disqualified. It's no contest. So 2 years in a row, the Hell in a Cell match ends with a no contest. And after the match, the Fiend awakens, he beats down Rollins, hits him with the Sister Abigail, and then he puts him in the mandible claw, and Rollins bleeds fake blood from his mouth. Looked fucking garbage. Fans booed, they chanted AEW. Horrible ending in a horrible main event.